Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Are you ready for more storybooks? I thought so. So we're going to continue our Berenstain Bears readathon with this one. I think you'll like it. It is called The Berenstain Bears and the Spooky Old House. The Berenstain Bears and the Spooky Old House by Stan and Jan Berenstain. One day, when the bears were in their yard, a letter came. "Who is it from?" asked Mama Bear. "It's from Mr. Bruno Brown," said Papa Bear. "He's a big lawyer in town." "Why is he writing to us?" asked Mama. As Papa Bear read the letter, his eyes grew wider and wider. "What does the letter say?" Mama asked. "It says that rich widow McBear passed away and left us a gift," said Papa. "My goodness," said Mama. "What sort of a gift?" "That's the trouble," said Papa. "She left us a house. The spooky old house on Spooky Hill." "Golly," said Brother. "Double golly," said Sister. "My goodness," said Mama. "But that's not all," said Papa. "To get our gift, we must go to Spooky Old House in the dark of night." The Bear family thought about the spooky old house on top of Spooky Hill. It was such a spooky thought, it made them shiver. Said Papa. "There's a P.S. "What does it say?" asked Mama. "It says that to get our gift, we must go to the spooky old house on the next dark night." Sister looked up at the sky. "The sky is cloudy, so the clouds will hide the moon and the stars, which means," said Papa, with another shiver, "that the next dark night will be tonight." The bears thought about the spooky old house again. Brother thought there might be ghosts in the spooky old house. Sister thought there might be goblins in the spooky old house. Papa thought there might be monsters in the spooky old house. But Mama thought it was just an empty, falling apart old house. She thought it could be put to good use. That night, the bears stood at the bottom of Spooky Hill, looking up at the spooky old house. "I'm afraid," said Brother. "I'm afraid there are ghosts in the spooky old house." "I'm afraid too," said Sister. "I'm afraid there are goblins in the spooky old house." "I'm not afraid," said Papa. "But I'm a little worried that there may be monsters in the spooky old house." "Stuff and nonsense," said Mama. "That's just an empty, falling apart old house. It's ours now. We should put it to good use. So, follow me." And up Spooky Hill they went. Brother was wrong. There were no ghosts in the spooky old house. Sister was wrong. There were no goblins in the spooky old house. Papa was wrong. There were no monsters in the spooky old house. And Mama was wrong too. The spooky old house was not empty. Looking out the window of the spooky old house on top of Spooky Hill were lots of eyes. Lots and lots of little eyes and one pair of big eyes. The little eyes belonged to many, many bats who lived in the spooky old house on top of Spooky Hill. The big eyes belonged to Raggedy Tom, who had made the spooky old house his home. As the bears came closer and closer, Raggedy Tom and the bats became more and more afraid. Creak, creak, went the wooden floor. Rattle, rattle, went the rusty old knob as Mama tried the door. Squeak, went the door as Mama pulled it open. Whoosh, went the many, many bats as they flew out of the open door. "Ghosts!" shouted Brother. "Goblins!" shouted Sister. "Monsters!" shouted Papa. "Help!" shouted Raggedy Tom. "Everybody calm down," said Mama as she lit a candle. "It's Raggedy Tom," said Brother. "I see him around town sometimes." "Hello, Tom," said Mama. "We're the Bear family. This house belongs to us now. We want to put it to good use." And with the help of Raggedy Tom, that's what the bears did. The spooky old house got fixed up, cleaned up, and painted until it looked like new. The spooky old house is now the Bear Country Club. Raggedy Tom takes care of it, and he has a room of his own. The bats work all night and sleep all day, so everybody gets along just fine. This book made me think of a cave. In the cave, there are lots of bats that live there, and they sleep there too. I personally have never gone to a cave before, but it could be fun. There are guides that can take you on a tour with your family. The spooky old house wasn't so spooky after all. They did a great job fixing it up, huh? That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for stopping by. And as always, you are important, you are smart, and you are loved. I will see you very soon. Bye. Have a good weekend.